Welcome back to DS Trucks. In this video, I'm going to be doing an impromptu MPG test with our 2020 F450. And yeah, guys, I wanted to do this because on the way home today from work, the truck returned 20 miles per gallon on the highway. Now, that's pretty impressive in my opinion for a truck this size. It's an F450. It's a crew cab, long bed, heavy duty truck. You wouldn't think that something this size could get that good of an MPG. So, I wanted to do a quick impromptu MPG test, just showing off what this truck can do. But if you follow the channel, then you know that from time to time, we do these videos talking about MPG. I'm going the wrong way. Sorry guys, I don't know. Not my church. But anyway, guys, if you follow the channel, then you know that we do these videos from time to time talking about MPG or towing or whatever. But also, guys, we do a little side conversation here in the truck talking about whatever current events are going on in the world, whether it is, the government, the economy, whatever. But also in the process doing an MPG test. So I did reset the trip computer, and I want to get two readings. I want to know what the truck is getting overall, but also a snapshot of what the truck can get from a cruise. Now, I got the camera mounted on my mount, so it's going to be impossible for me to show you the clusters, so you got to take my word for it. Right now, we are 0.9 miles in, getting 10 miles to the gallon. Now, it's hard for the truck to get really good MPG when you take into account all the stops and starts and all that. But on the other hand, once you actually give it a reset, once it's rolling, it does get really impressive MPG. Now the question is, which one do you go off of? Because technically speaking, the truck is getting the MPG that it's getting once it's rolling. That's how many gallons per mile it is using, but not taking into account how much it takes to get up and rolling. So if you were on the highway and you had enough road, the amount of fuel it took to start the trip, to build up the momentum, it takes significantly more fuel to build up your momentum. That would be less relevant once you're driving consistently for a long enough period of time. So the DTC calculation, the computer calculation, has to take into account everything, and the start has to get averaged in. So if you're getting 20, if your truck's able to get 20 miles per gallon, it has to get that long enough to account for the amount of fuel per gallon that it takes to accelerate. It might only get 3 miles per gallon while it's accelerating. But I do have news for you guys. I do have an update for you guys. And that is the situation with employees with me. If you follow the channel, do you know that I've had problems with employees? One of my guys stole $10,000 worth of equipment from me. The rest of my guys quit. It's been a hard year, guys. It's been a hard couple years. Since COVID started, it's been tough. And now, my little brother who's been helping me has quit. He sent me a text. He let me know he no longer wants to do lawns. He said, hey, I got another job and I can't help you anymore. Maybe I can do one more week if you need, but I'm done. Aside from that, I'm done, which is fine. What are you going to do? In this world, you have to do what you want to do. And if he wants to get another job, do something different, then that's what he needs to do. And best of luck to him. Now, for me, that means I have to do everything myself, which is not ideal, but we got to persevere. We got to keep going. I have to rearrange the schedule. I have to work some extra days. It is what it is. I've kind of learned over the last couple of years to structure things so that it's not overwhelming when things get tough. For as far as lawn mowing goes, I've learned a huge lesson. And by the way, side note, we're getting 14.1 to the gallon, but we got to stop. We got a red light coming up. Got a stop sign coming up. So it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt our MPG a little bit. But nonetheless, we're not going to have to stop. We're going to do a little roll. But over the years, I've learned that you don't want to overwhelm yourself with something like lawn mowing. Lawn mowing is something that it's very demanding. It's always there. You can't turn it off. So if I took the lawn mowing route, and I just pushed it to the limit with me and Jacob, well, him quitting, I'd be done. I cannot do 40 hours of a two-man crew, 40 hours of it. I can't do it in 1 week if that guy quits. And in this business, somebody always quits. It's a constant turnover. Someone's always quitting and leaving you. People do not care, and they shouldn't, and they won't. And that's just how it is. Even your own family, they are going to do what they want to do. So, he left, and if I were not thinking about this, if I were just trying to think money, more, then I would be in trouble. Guys, I would be in a lot of trouble right now, because I'd have a ridiculous amount of work, and hey, I wouldn't be able to get it done. Will I be able to find another guy to help me? I don't know. I got the word out right now for $20 an hour. I was, paying him $20 an hour. There's more jobs out there. There's other jobs. He probably got a job for $30 an hour. I don't know. You got to do what's best for you, and maybe, he's doing what's best for him. But I may even have to raise that up. I can't even get a guy to start working at $20 an hour. People actually laugh at me over that. They laugh at me over $20 an hour. They're just like, oh, ha, ha. It's pretty. On Facebook, I run my, ooh, look at that dually. Guys, that Denali dually is something else right now. Ooh. I'm impressed by that. That thing looks good. I like the mirrors on that. And I like the fender flares, how they are part of the body. I think that's a better design compared to Ford. As far as it looking better, he's flying too. Like, I can't even keep up with this guy. I can't even say how fast he's going. But I want to get up there. He's going to get us both a ticket. Me trying to keep up with that guy. But I want to say that, look how the fender flares on the Chevys look better, for sure. I have to say they do. But yeah, that just also messed up my MPG a little bit, trying to keep up with that guy. I'm getting 15 to the gallon. We'll set cruise control. We'll cruise down the road here. But yeah, so I've been getting laughed at by potential employees, or just guys on Facebook who go on an ad. They're keyboard warriors, but they'll laugh at you and be like, "Are you serious? 20 an hour? I'm not doing that. You're an idiot," whatever. And it's just a weird time, I don't know what the implications of this economy are going to be. It's very strange. It's going to be like a 2008 situation where there's massive disruption, because I've never heard of or seen any kind of a situation like this where something can be so inflated, where businesses are closing up. Like, I have to make a decision right now. Am I going to close up my business? I'm not a big business, but it doesn't matter if I close up my business at the end of the day. To the grand scheme of things, to the world, it doesn't matter. I'm not Ford. I'm not GM. I'm just a small business, but I have to think about that. Do I want to keep doing my business? Because doing my business is hard enough under normal circumstances. I have to operate now when you hire someone, it's weird to say, but they have too much leverage over you as an employer. They decide when they want to work and when they want to quit, and all the rules and regulations that have to do with quitting, meaning if you quit your job, you're not entitled to unemployment. Not anymore. Nowadays, you can quit your job and you're getting unemployment. You're getting that from the company. and the company has no say or no pull or no leverage in that regard, and they shouldn't. I don't feel like any company should have, I don't feel like the employee and the business should be put at odds with each other over unemployment. I don't think the business should have to pay it. I don't think the employee should be incentivized to be on it. I don't think the business should be incentivized to prevent the employee from getting it, but that's how it is. Right now, as a business owner, you're incentivized to prevent an employee from getting unemployment. And the reason that is because if you have a guy on your payroll and you allow him to collect unemployment, then he hurts your business and causes you to have to pay money, and you're going to have to pay all that money that he collects. You're going to have to pay it all back eventually over years and years and years. And a lot of companies end up getting in a situation where they can't pay it back, and they're just paying some kind of rate that is just a tax at this point. For me, that's kind of how it is. I've gotten so much money that people have collected from me, especially from this pandemic, that I'm stuck paying this ridiculous tax, and it's affecting how many people I can even hire or how much I can pay. So they're over 10% right now for my payroll until I pay back all the money, which is going to take me years and years and years to pay back. So I'm less able to pay a higher wage, or that's money that I'm going to put elsewhere that I'm unable to put. So it's a weird situation. So I'm incentivized to deny anybody. I don't want anyone working for me then turn around and collect unemployment. And then the employee right now is incentivized to collect unemployment. So that puts the employee and the employer at odds. I don't think that's the right way to do it. I think the employee should be able to get unemployment when they want to, for whatever reason. Maybe they want to switch jobs. Maybe they want to quit and find another job. They shouldn't be forced to feel like they can't get another job. For whatever reason that they want to collect unemployment, they should be able to collect unemployment. But they should pay it back. Not their business. Why am I paying someone else's unemployment back? It doesn't make any sense. It starts a whole scam. Like, there's guys that work. You know how many people tried to work for me just to get unemployment? Work for a couple days and then disappear just so they can get unemployment? It's a scam. It's all a jacked up situation. And they changed the laws to where the little bit of checks and balances that the employer had, they got rid of them. They got rid of the... Man, I'm telling you, these Chevys are looking good. I just saw a Chevy pulling a travel trailer, toy hauler. They're looking good. Not a Chevy guy, but they're looking good. But speaking of which, you see the type of driving we're doing, and we are getting 18 miles to the gallon. Now, this is with a stop. We're starting, and I will say this road is super forgiving. It literally it's just the most forgiving road that you could possibly wish to have. There's a few stop signs, but you really don't hit them. I'm going to reset another one so we can see the snapshot. Like, what MPG are you getting at about 38 miles per hour? I'm speeding by like 2 miles per hour, 3 miles per hour I'm speeding. But what MPG will you get at this speed? This is 10th gear. This is like 1200 RPM. So this is probably the perfect situation for MPG. And according to the computer, like a snapshot, we're getting 23.3, 23.4 as of the moment that I'm shooting this right now. Now, with a couple stop signs or red lights that we hit and starting from a dead stop, we're getting 18. But it's like, why pit a business and an employee against each other? Why incentivize a business to like not allow an employee to get unemployment? If an employee wants to quit, then he or she should be able to be entitled to get unemployment if they want to. You shouldn't put that on the employer. It makes no sense. I'm incentivized to deny. So it's a big scheme. The employer drafts a handbook that says all the rules that can't be violated, or else you can't get unemployment, and then you have to. It's almost like a little bit of socialism, because in order to operate correctly, you need an employee handbook, and you need to set your boundaries, and you need to say, well, these are the rules. If your attendance does this, then you'll get fired. If you miss 3 days, you'll get fired. If you do this, you'll get fired and be ineligible because you because you didn't follow company policy, and you didn't, whatever company policy is. If you steal from the company, that's a violation of company policy, which is a tough one, because how do you say that someone stole from you if you can't even prove it? I had a guy steal $10,000 worth of equipment, and he pretty much admitted to doing it in so many words. And how do I prove it? He'd be in jail right now if you could prove it. So you can't. It's just not. I mean, you can suspect that someone stole something, but not be able to prove it, but have a pretty good idea and not be able to do anything with it. You can't even fire that guy. How do you even fire them? What do you do? If someone gets fired, they should be able to be fired. It shouldn't even be a question. You should be able to fire anybody for any reason. And they should be able to collect unemployment if they want to. Or if they don't want to, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll be more inclined to go get another job instead of sitting on unemployment if they had to pay it back. Because somebody's got to pay it back. Why is the state profiting from unemployment? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, they have a whole infrastructure and people working and all that. I wouldn't be surprised if they were making money on it. It's just a crazy situation. It's never going to happen, but they need to change that so that the employee pays it and the employer doesn't have to pay it. But the employer at the same time doesn't tell someone else when they can collect it. It's just a bad system. It's probably never going to change. The sad thing is, what makes me think about this is that when all this pandemic stuff started and they started plugging in different figures for unemployment and raising this and raising that and increasing this amount and that amount, lets you know that they could change things. Things can change, but they choose not to. They choose not to change things. But what is the economy going to do when all these jobs are gone? Everybody's getting to be more efficient. I don't want to have the same crew that I had, the same size crew that I had, if I don't need to. I'm trying to figure out how I can do it with less people. I'm trying to change my business structure a little bit so that less people are needed. Everybody's going to be doing that. McDonald's, fast food, which is an issue. The way that's structured is a big issue. McDonald's and all that, they're figuring out they can run that whole place with 2 people right now. They could put a guy in there and have a robot fill the cups. They can have a robot take the order. They can figure stuff out to where they don't need these people. And since they've got to pay whatever per hour, $20 an hour, whatever, they got the money to figure out how they can run their whole facility without hardly anybody. Maybe 1 guy, 2 guys. McDonald's could get to the point where they don't need anybody barely to work. What happens when you go to McDonald's, you order your fast food, and there is nobody in there? There's 1 guy maybe, or nobody, and the whole thing's just computerized. You're just getting your burger and everything. It's like perfect. It's just like how it looks when it's on the image. It's just a perfect burger, perfect image of a burger. How crazy would that be? It's like the image, like exactly. But it's just death on the plate. It's just carcinogens, just ruining your health. It's just so good though. But what's going to happen with this economy when that kind of thing happens? When companies with money, you're talking billion-dollar companies, they're figuring out how they can do it without anybody, or very few people working inside now. It could very well end up being something like a Great Depression, or something like worse than 2008. I remember in 2008 when I was looking for a job. Oh, what a hard thing looking for a job in 2008. Nobody was hiring. What happens when we get another 2008? When everybody's like, I get comfortable cutting lawns myself. Why am I going to have another guy helping me? Why would I have a crew running when it's just gotten to be too hard? And this whole idea that we're helping people who are less fortunate, and people need to make $15 an hour, and okay, are you sure? Because before the pandemic, all my guys were making $15, $16 an hour, $18 an hour, because I wanted them to stay. Then the government comes in, minimum $15 an hour. They don't understand that there's somebody out there that wants less than the minimum. There's somebody out there who will potentially have no opportunity for a while until the minimum becomes less valuable. You're going to get $15 an hour, and they're going to be like, that's not enough money. That's going to feel just like $10 an hour. But we are hitting a stop. The truck's amazingly at 19.7, but it should drop drastically from hitting a little bit of a stop here. It's going down 19.4, 19.3. So it's going down a little bit. It's losing efficiency. But once we get to another coast, we'll be able to kind of hopefully taper off. We'll see if this thing can stay in the 19s. So I guess you can call this, I wouldn't call this city driving. This is more advantageous for the MPG of the truck. This is like light duty, lighter than city driving. I got a biker up here I got to watch out for, and someone's next to me. But look at all those boats. Dang, it's like, forget how busy it gets on Saturday. It'd be kind of anxious to even operate a boat in those conditions. Just, it's too many vessels everywhere. But, yeah, we're going to have some weird stuff going on. We're going to have some really weird stuff going on. Like, restaurants and everything, they've been hurting. Again, they're figuring out how to do this more efficient. You know, they're figuring things out to be more efficient, to have less people. And we're putting our own selves out of work, guys. Long term, we're putting our own selves out of work. But for Jacob, I congratulate, you know, whatever his endeavors are. He didn't say, you know, and it brings up a point, and the point is, you have to do what you want to do. You have to do what you want to do in life. You have to. You have to go for it, and for that, I'm happy for him. You know, it is what it is. I don't think he should quit a job. I don't know. I'm going to talk to him and see what the deal was, if he was upset about something. To be honest, you know, he had messed up a couple things. Nothing major, but enough to be enough. You know, little stuff. But it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. But yeah. You have to do what you want to do. So we are tapering off here. We're getting 19.5. This is, you know, this is an easy test for the truck. You know, it's not true city driving. It's just coasting easily down the road. But these speeds are really the 10 speed. You're getting 1,000 RPM at 9th gear. A little bit faster, you get to 10th. And you know, with the gearing on this truck being at a 430 gear, kind of wished it was a little bit more. Look at all these people out just having a great time. Isn't that just looks like a lot of fun? It's 83 outside. Makes me want to open my sunroof. Hi everybody. But yeah, guys, pretty impressive stuff, guys. 19.6. So I wonder, you know, if we're gonna get stopped here, it's gonna so the other one that was reset without any stops, the other trip computer DTC calculation is at 22 miles per gallon, and the one with the stop is at 19.6. So pretty amazing stuff. But the truck can get some pretty impressive MPG compared to like a V6 truck or a Power Boost where the engine turns off. That would be really good for this truck. Turn off the engine, because it's such a big displacement that it just, to keep all those moving parts going, just takes a lot of fuel. If they can figure out how to turn off the engine, I think the emissions though is too much. It probably could have a start-stop system if it didn't have emissions, but it's probably too much on the truck to turn off the diesel engine with your EGR and your DPF and all that. What if it's cold? You know, if the truck's hot, heat's a big thing with these diesel engines. They want to stay hot, and then you keep turning it off and turning it on. So, you know, the hybrid technology would be cool. I don't know if it would work with a diesel. I really don't know if it will work with a diesel, guys. But yeah, guys, nothing short of amazing. I think the point of this all is something big could be coming for the economy, but the main thing is you have to do what you want to do. And Jacob's playing it smart. It's a good time to do any job that you want. I mean, you can get almost any job. You can work anywhere. I think he wants to be a cook, and he can pursue his cooking or whatever he's doing. I don't know if that's what he's doing, but anyway, guys, that's it for the video. This is a quick MPG test on DS trucks. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Over and out. Bye.